your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Champs Community Center is now entering its second phase of construction. The Community Vocational Institute, which will be an after-school center for young men from grades 9 through 12, is expected to be completed by September. Director of the Champs Community Center says the shipping containers that have been donated from international partners will also house classrooms, housing dorms, a kitchen area, and restrooms at the center.
We have come a long way on 1.39 acres of property. The front section that you see here is going to be the vocational classes, and the behind the buildings that we're going to be putting up, it's an area that we're going to use for vocational farming, where we're going to begin taking the opportunities to be able to teach young men about farming. This is phase 2 out of 5 here at the Champs Community Center, where we're working in partnership with all the properties being donated by the Grand Bahama Port Authority, the kindness of the heart of Mr. Ian Roll and Ms. Sarah St. George and the Haywood family. The Falcons Boys Club just want to say thank you again for assisting us as we develop an institution that we believe every 4 years we're going to be able to help 80 young men find full-time employment at the end of completing high school.
The Grand Bahama Shipyard Apprenticeship Program has been assisting with the fabrication of what is expected to be modular structure buildings. Under the leadership of Supervisor Alvaro Kemp, each day a crew of workers offer their skills and time in helping to build the structures.
I am so thankful to the Grand Bahama Shipyard, its management team, and the apprentice who they have allowed to come down here at the community center and assist us with being able to cut the holes in the various shipping containers that have been donated by one of our international partners. And this afternoon we are so thankful that by next week these holes are going to be cut open, and we're going to be able to install the windows and install the doors and begin working on the inside of this institution. We're hoping to have this up and running by September. We have already spoken to all of the relevant authorities who's going to help us as we work with young men.
Meantime, the Reach Out Youth Organization is gearing up to host its 15th annual Boys to Men Conference, and that's on February 23rd, 2022 at Tabernacle Baptist Christian Academy. This year's theme is "The Sky is the Limit." Host and founder Dudley Sage says dynamic speakers have agreed to address the young men at the conference, and it is sure to be impactful.
We have Bruce Russell from Calvary Temple. We also have Mr. Norris Bean. He is one of the presenters. And we have a very exciting young man. His name is Dudley Sage Jr. He's a preacher. He'll be speaking also to the youths at the conference. The Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, he's going to be bringing some remarks also at the conference. But the reason why we use the theme, "The Sky is the Limit," a lot of times the young folks or young kids don't realize that you have to dream big, reach for the stars, and that's why we use the theme this year. There's some great athletes came out of the same school where they are. Demetrius Pinder, he's an Olympian, but our whole message is to let them know instead of picking the wrong crowds, stay focused, do your schoolwork, and at the end of the day, you don't know what you could become.
Well, founder of the fitness gym, Omar Isaacs, and the leader of the Platinum Nights Junkanoo group, Thomas Curry, will also be a part of this year's conference.
It's always a pleasure to be a part of organizational schemes like this, to be able to impart what we've already learned. Many of us have been abroad. We've been exposed for the youth who have been under lock and key for some time. They don't really know what's going on in the wider world and the global community. And these are the times when men can plant themselves and what their wisdom into the youth.
It's a good thing that the Reach Out Ministry has been doing for the past 15 years, because if you know, in these homes now, a lot of these young men don't have father figures, and only so much the mothers can do. So it's very important to have these type of conference and to prune these young men and to make them successful in life and to stay on the right path.
And it's time for your Monday evening sports check with Jay Philippe.
evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. Do not count out the return of high school sports just as yet. We have an update on that. Also on the college scene, one high jumper is making waves. But let's start this one off, basketball at the international level. Grand Bahamian Willis Mackey is in his third year as a basketball pro. The 6'8" forward is currently playing in one of the top leagues in Spain. In his last game, Willis scored 16 points and grabbed 14 rebounds. We caught up with the rising star who will be competing for the Bahamas Senior Men's national team this weekend against the Dominican Republic.
We started off on top and we finished our regular season last week Friday, and we were still able to finish in the top 5, which means now we have a chance to play in the playoffs to promote to the next level of basketball in France, which is the Pro B level. And for me personally, I still ended the season leading the team in points, second in rebounds, and helping out in basically every other area that I can. And I'm really proud of my performance. I've had some ups and downs. I dealt with COVID at one point, and it was a long road to try to get back to where I was at the beginning of the season, but I am slowly but surely getting back there, so feeling good moving forward. And for the national team, I'm really looking forward to the opportunity, as always, to put the jersey on. To have the Bahamas across my chest is a major honor. I don't take it lightly, and every time I put the jersey on, I know what it means to me personally and to everybody else watching.
Switching gears now, local sports district superintendent of education for Grand Bahama and former junior national team coach and champion Ivan Butler provided an update on the possible return of school sports in Grand Bahama.
There have been some talks with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture concerning non-contact sports, but our priority was to get our students in school, and now that they're in school, then our next step will be to see how soon or how quickly we can engage in any kind of after-school activities. But any sporting activities will be non-contact for now.
Hopefully that's some good news for athletes and coaches. Now moving on to the college scene in track and field, former Carifta standout Tyler Mizik competed this weekend at the NJCAA Region 6 Indoor Championships, where he won the high jump with a leap of 2.10 meters, which is 6 feet 10 and 3/4. Mizik is just in his first year at Iowa Western Community College. Congratulations to Tyler, the kid can fly. And that's a quick check on sports. That's all I have for you. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.